guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I will show you how to make a pretty yummy dish, and that is called pan-fried noodles with seafood. And those of you who have tried this dish before know how yummy it tastes with the fried noodles and the seafood with the vegetables with the thick sauce poured on top of the fried noodles, and it just tastes so delicious. So this dish is so easy to make that you can actually switch out the ingredients, the protein like seafood, to either beef or chicken, but most of the time I see it's paired with beef or seafood. And today my seafood combination will be shrimp, squid, and scallop. And also for the vegetables, you can also combine different types of vegetables. You don't have to use what I'm using, but this is kind of like the general. So enough talking, let's get into the ingredients. So the ingredients we're going to need today for our seafood pan-fried noodles combination is our squid. I purchased this at the Vietnamese supermarket. It's already cleaned. Some scallop and shrimp. Those are our three ingredients for seafood. For our vegetables, I'm using Nam Hao mushrooms. You can use different types of mushroom. Some snow peas. Bok choy, this is what they look like. Some carrots, garlic, and big noodles. You can get this at the Vietnamese supermarket. Some chicken seasoning. So if you watch my other videos, I mentioned that I use chicken seasoning for everything that I cook. And I think that chicken seasoning makes the food taste a lot better instead of just using salt. Salt is sometimes kind of just plain. That's just my preference. And some soy sauce to eat with our pan-fried noodles. And I found this while paying for my groceries. And look at it, it's the real brand soy sauce with Hello Kitty on it. And it says extra fancy and it's limited edition. How cute is this? So cute, I just had to get it. So first what we're going to do is I'm going to clean all my seafood here and my vegetables. So after I clean my vegetables and seafood, I assembled it on the plate for you guys to see here. Over here I have my bok choy, and just a tip, if you guys can't find these at the market, you can use broccolis, our snow peas, mushrooms, and carrots. I'll show you guys how to cut up the carrots. And over here we have our seafood. And the shrimp, I peel the shrimp and I leave the tail here with the little edges so that when you cook up the shrimp, it'll hold its shape. And I cut the shrimp in the middle to clean out the vein. Over here I have my scallop and my whole squid. I'll show you guys how to cut up the squid so that it'll hold its shape, and when you cook it, it'll have like a beautiful texture to it. And one ingredient I have yet to mention is the cornstarch. Cornstarch is what's going to help thicken up our sauce. And our pepper to garnish on top. So now I'm going to show you guys how to cut up the carrots. So we'll just cut it in thin slices like this. So after cutting up the carrots, I'm going to set it aside. So now I'm going to show you how to cut up the squid. So we got our clean squid here. I'm going to put my knife under and just split it up like this. And I'm going to cut it in half. And I'm going to cut it big piece like this. You don't want it to be too small. And what I do is I slant it aside and go like this. Oops, that one. Do slight cuts. You don't want to cut it through because we're trying to get that texture. You don't have to do this. You can just leave it like this if you want. So after cutting up the squid, you can see the texture here that I created. And then if the squid is still slimy from the inside, you can just rinse it with water. And then now I'm going to show you how to split up the noodles. When you get them in the package, they're usually stuck together like this. So what I do is I take out a small amount like this and I split them up. You don't want to do it too hard because the noodles will break. Just want to split them up. So after splitting up the noodles, you can see that the noodles are all separated so that when you fry the noodles, you're not eating like a big chunk of noodles. So now everything is all prepped. We're going to head over and saute our vegetables and seafood. So over here, I have my 2 pans. One pan I'm going to use to saute my seafood and veggies, and one pan I'm going to use to deep fry our noodles. But first, we're going to saute our seafood and veggies. I'm doing it this way so that later on when we finish deep frying our noodles, we can just pour our sauteed veggies and seafood on top and it's ready to serve. You don't want the noodles to sit out so long because you won't taste the crunchiness. So now let's start cooking. So first I'm going to heat up my pan. So after my pan is heated up, I'm going to add in my oil. I'm using olive oil. You can use any oil. Over here I have my garlic. I'm only going to use half. I'm going to lower the heat to medium to high because you don't want to burn your garlic. I'm going to stir that up for about a minute or 30 seconds. I'm going to add in our seafood. I'm cooking the seafood up first because the seafood takes longer to cook. Add in a little bit of everything. Okay, so you want to stir this up for about 4 to 5 minutes on medium heat because the squid and scallops will take a while to cook. So after 5 minutes, we're going to add in our vegetables. So after combining our seafood and vegetables together, we're going to stir it up for about 3 to 4 minutes. So now we're going to season our sauteed veggies and seafood with my chicken powder here. I'm going to add in about 1 tablespoon. So now we're going to add in our chicken broth. I add in about half a can for 1 serving. So after adding the chicken broth, I'm going to cook for another 3 minutes on high heat. So after 3 minutes, you can taste to see how you like the flavor, and you can add in more chicken seasoning if you like. So now we're going to add in our cornstarch to thicken up our sauce. Over here I have half a cup of water, and I'm going to add in about 1 tablespoon of cornstarch. I'm going to mix that up. So the reason why I'm using cold water is because you want all your cornstarch to get mixed up. You don't want it to be clumpy. If you use hot water, it will be clumpy. So once that's all mixed up, I'm going to pour it in. And my heat is on medium, and now I'm going to stir it up. So once I turn up my heat and cook everything together for another minute or two, and you can see that the sauce has now thickened up. Now I'm going to turn off my heat. Now we're going to head over and cook our noodles. So I'm going to turn on my heat on high. After heating up my pan, I'm going to add in my oil. I'm going to add in a good amount of oil because we're basically frying the noodles. So after heating up the oil, we're going to lower heat to medium. And I'm going to add in my noodles. How I normally do it is I just grab a handful like this. And I just fry the noodles. After about a minute, I'm going to flip my noodles over. So after about 2 minutes, your noodles should be ready. Over here I have my plate with some napkins under so I can soak up some oil, since frying noodles probably take up a lot of oil. And now we're going to do the same thing again. After it's done, I'm going to transfer it to my plate and let all the oil soak out. So after I soak out my noodles with the napkins, it should be ready to serve. I'm going to add my vegetables, sauteed vegetables and seafood on top. Now I'm going to add on the pepper. Wasn't this recipe easy to make? I hope you guys like my recipe, and thank you so much for watching. And if you guys like this video, give this video a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed already, click that subscribe button. And I'll see you next time. Bye!